Hello, welcome to the leadership chat for secretaries and anyone else who wanted to come along. My name is Emily Wagman, and I am the leadership development coordinator for the district. Thanks to Lisa for getting all of this going for us and setting this up. Um, I think we're just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to give you a little agenda here. I'm going to share my screen, so that we can see what we've got here. Oh, goodness. All right. Okay, lovely. Getting to see my Zoom. Okay. We will first take you to the slides here. Oh my goodness. All right. So tell me what you're seeing. Are you seeing a club leadership chat slide there?
You can see that, Emily.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so welcome to this club leadership. We're going to kind of talk about Brian Wells is here. We're so excited that Brian is here, so we'll introduce him in a second here. But we're going to have him go over his governor goals again if you missed it this last time, and a little Kiwanis Voices recap. We're going to get on Engage. We're going to do some interactive stuff on Engage. I don't know how many of you have gotten on or have questions about that. I hear some little tither about things that people are having some questions on Engage. So we'll go over monthly reporting, some bylaws, the achievement awards, including distinguished criteria and some of the mid-year awards. We're going to go over some district reminders and dates with Lisa, membership updates, and then we'll have time for questions after that. So we want to make sure there's plenty of time. So I'm going to introduce Brian to go ahead and share his goals. Welcome, Governor Brian.
Great. Thank you, Emily. Lisa, thanks for all the hard work. Hello, everybody. We're going to have a good time tonight. I always like talking to the secretaries because you all talk really fast and you use big words. It's not like those presidents, they talk slow and they use the little words, and we have to get the whiteboard out with color crayons and that kind of thing. So, anyway, thank you so much for joining tonight. Very quickly, let's go over some goals. Every governor has their own goals they bring into the office. My goals align with our Kiwanis International president, Michael Mulhall, and we've got a couple of them that are just unique to Nebraska-Iowa district. First off is membership. My bar is very low here. I want every club to finish with a +1 membership. That means that if you lose two, you gain three. So that's our goal, minimum goal. Also, I'd love to see each club sponsor or co-sponsor an SLP. We also have in the works, I'm establishing a governor's award for excellence for clubs that sponsor all 5 levels of SLPs. I'm thinking like a new car or something. What do you guys think? Okay, maybe not a new car, but it's going to be something that you cannot buy at the dollar store. Also, my theme this year is Kiwanis Rocks. And so it can be anything from a rock like you paint and put it in your garden or put it on the steps of the courthouse, or it could be music. And in this case, it is music. I've asked each club and division to offer some assistance to the music department of the local school district or the homeschool parochial schools, and so forth, and ask the music departments if they could use some help from the Kiwanis Club. And this helps us work our way into the school system, and it also helps those music teachers. Music has been a big part of my life ever since I was in elementary school. And I'd like for us to give it a shot and see what we can do. We've had a couple of clubs already try this, and surprisingly enough, they have been asked for some help, maybe issuing or collecting tickets, moving instruments, these kind of things, one and done things, nothing huge, but it establishes a good relationship between the clubs and the school. Also, every month we'll be reaching out and talking to all the lieutenant governors once a month, Three things. What's your division doing? Where are you going? And how can we help you? Those three things. And finally, grow Kiwanis leadership by using our ACE tools. What I really wanted to say there was modify the culture so that we accept or so that people want to be leaders. Part of the challenge I ran into back in February when I was vice governor is trying to fill, we have 60 different officer positions and leads within the district. And these are all volunteers or elected. And sometimes we have a hard time filling all those positions. And we've got good people out there. It's just, we need to ask them. So that's what I'm asking you to do is go ahead and take a look around and see what you can do to make the culture more accepting of individuals that maybe are shying away from a responsibility and to the point where they raise their hand and they go for it. Also, I want to make Kiwanis fun. Uh, yeah, we are going to have a good time. Okay, next slide. Okay, the second piece of my little portion here is called Kiwanis Voices. Kiwanis Voices is a brainchild of Michael Mulhall, the Kiwanis International president. It's a 5-year pilot program. It's for young adults ages 18 to 26. He took a look and he felt that gap was just not being serviced well by Kiwanis. And we found out that only 2% of all graduating Key Clubbers were actually going into a Circle K program. Those that were going to college. So that left 98% with nowhere to go. If an 18-year-old walks into my local club in Bellevue, I'm the youngest guy there. So they're gonna turn around and walk out pretty quick. So what we're doing here is we're creating a club called Kiwanis Voices for, again, ages 18 to 26. Right now, we've got enough funding to start 4 clubs in our district. And one club is going to be up in Lincoln, and Keith Prettyman has taken that one on. That's going to be a brick and mortar club. Plus, it's a hybrid, so you can have some internet people joining that. I'm going to sponsor one through the Bellevue Club, and that's going to be pretty much just internet. And then we have 2 more clubs that we can have sponsor, and I'd love to see Iowa pick those 2 up if possible. But I'm excited about this. We're starting to get some traction. I'm just talking at church. We've got 3 people right away that their kids have moved away, and they want to be able to establish relationships with other Kiwanians and people with a servant's heart. And this is a perfect program for that. And the district will pay your first year's dues. Dues are $40. And we'll take care of that first year of dues, and the members of the Kiwanis Voices will pick up the dues thereafter. After 2 years, the dues go back to the club for a community project, which this is a win-win, And you can read the rest. More information is coming out. But once again, thank you all for attending tonight. Thank you for being secretaries. It's so important to have an effective secretary within a club. It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to leave my point of contact information. If I can ever do anything for you, please feel free to reach out and contact me. Miss Emily, back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm going to also have Lisa introduce all of the other ones on our call here that are on the district board.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, just a couple things we want to make sure we're getting you in contact with the district leaders. We do have a couple other officers on tonight. Vice Governor Julie Weaver's on this evening. Julie, any words you want to share to start things off?
I don't know that I really have anything to share. I've been assistant secretary in my club for a while, and my big thing is I am just here for you. If you have anything that you need questions with, please feel free to reach out. I'm sure all of the other district officers will say the same, but I just want you to know I am here for you.
Thanks, Julie. And Governor-elect Tim McGee, you're on this evening. Any words
Hi.
of wisdom for us?
Hey. So yeah, I can't add much to that. I've been a Kiwanian for 40 years now, and so I know how much work the secretaries do. So I want to thank you for that. And like Brian said, we're looking for new leaders, and if you know someone, let me know. I got to appoint some people next February, and I'm going to need some help. So, hey, nice talking to you.
Okay. And the other resource is our district treasurer, Kurt Rice. I believe you're on this evening. Anything you'd like to share?
No, I'm also a club secretary, so just listening in, and I'll echo everybody else. If there's anything I can do to help somebody, let me know.
Thanks, Kurt. Emily.
Oh, thank you for being here, guys. That means a lot for you to be on to meet our secretaries. I think personally they are the hardest working people on our boards. So just a reminder that we changed divisions up the 1st of October and that we only, or not regions necessarily, but divisions. We only have 16 divisions instead of 24. And this is where they're at. So in regions 5 and 6, you can see in the center of Iowa and the eastern Iowa, those two trustees will be elected this next year. So after the new year, they will be setting dates. Is that correct, Lisa? I believe.
That is correct. The dates for the election need to be set by December 15th. So we will get that out in late December where those are going to be. And if I can throw one more thing in about the new divisions before we move on from this slide. If you go online and you look at, especially your Engage resources, you might still see your club showing up in the old divisions. We needed to stay in our previous divisions until the end of year membership numbers were certified. That has taken place, and I've been told by KI IT department that hopefully this week that'll all transition into the new divisions. So if you're wondering why that hasn't happened yet, that's why.
Very good. Thanks. Thanks for clearing that up. I noticed in Engage that I could see that our divisions were switched up, but in some places they are not. So thanks for that clarification. So Engage, this is really where I want to spend some time. All members are invited to go to this engage.kiwanis.org and they can update their own information. If you are a secretary reported in your club, then you will get to see a whole different slew of things that I'm going to show you here. If you don't type in engage.kiwanis.org and don't remember that, just go to the kiwanis.org site and click on members. So I will kind of share a little bit of that here. So this is actually okay. So this is one way I'm going to get to it. So like I said, if you just want to go to kiwanis.org, click on members, you see this little members access Kiwanis Engage online reporting. This is a whole slew of information under membership resources for leaders and so forth like that. And the Kiwanis Convention, the Kiwanis Children's Fund, there's so much information for members, but access Kiwanis Engage right here. If you have not done this yet, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this. So I'm going to just kind of share it as if you don't know any of it. Brian may not know. No, just kidding. You will go ahead and enter the email address that you are registered under all of your Kiwanis information from, and then you will also, if you haven't signed in before, you have to hit forgot password here, and then it'll send you a password, and then you can log in this way. But I've got it ready to go here on mine. Let me see here. So I can, blah, 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 blah. I've got some stuff in the way. Okay, sign in. So I have showed you I'm gonna put all my dirty laundry out here just so you know, so you can see what I have under my Engage. This is what I see when I open it. So you can come over here and see all of your own clubs. I'm a Builders Club advisor. I'm a trainer for the district. So I have all of this information here. I'm just going to kind of see what you may see as a secretary under your club. All of your profile information, all of your members will have the same access as you see in this first part. They have the opportunity to go through their photos, their contact information, address, main. I heard that you may need to double check contact information. So it might be good to kind of share this with your members and say, hey, check your contact information to make sure it got loaded over fine and so forth. So you'll note that the date of your of birthdays are not in there. It's just the month and the year. So um, that's that's kind of unfortunate. Your join dates and all that good stuff. So that hasn't changed. But I just kind of wanted to share with you when you are a secretary, you have access to all of this other stuff on over here. So monthly, let's go back to our monthly and annual reports. So many of the information has been loaded in the last year just for 24-25. So you can toggle that through here. So it'll default to the current year. So we're in the past. I'm going to take the past year. So they have added a lot of that, a lot of these files and reports that you had entered from the beginning of October. I have noticed that they haven't uploaded it prior to that. So I think that is possibly still coming. But you have at least the year. It'll tell you when you submitted it, and you can see how terrible a secretary I will not get to apply for. My dirty laundry, 11/3, I just did my July, August, September today. So, but you can see, you can also make that option to edit that information because the annual report will just toggle and it'll come up. I believe December 1st is when it will eventually need to be all done and it'll be submitted by itself unless you make changes. But here's where you can actually go in there and make your changes. So you've got your meeting attendance, annual questions, service projects, and funding. This is where I actually made a change in my service projects for this time. So then I had to go ahead and redo it. So make sure you always save these. And then you'll see that it'll save resubmitted. So this is actually where when they do awards, they'll be able to know that when you've actually submitted it, if it was submitted by the 10th. So because it's got your laundry right there. Okay, so that's for the last fiscal year, 24-25. You can toggle to the current year and you will see, well, actually the annual report won't be done, but I don't know if I need to go through this. Is there anyone here that would like me to go through an annual report or a report rather, a monthly report at all? Is there anyone? Otherwise, I may just skip it, but okay. What I do love about this in October, like it's also, you can go on your phone. It's so mobile friendly that I can actually enter information on engage.kiwanis.org and enter my meeting attendance right as we do it. So I love that so we had a meeting on 10/16/2025. We had, and right there, I had, 15 members and I had 2 guests. We had a meeting, we had a program. It's as easy as that. And on your phone too, it's just as easy. So if you don't get in the habit of keeping that information right away, maybe get in the habit of getting on your phone right at the meeting and also adding this information right away. Sometimes a
Emily,
service project. Did someone say something? I'm sorry.
Emily, before you leave that, I have a
Yes.
question about the monthly report.
Okay.
If you
Oh,
go
yes.
down, is this the time to ask?
Yes, yes.
Okay, if you could go down to the funding, the very last one.
Very
the
good.
funding.
Okay.
So
Yes.
it's so very different from before. And
It
I don't,
is.
it says to money donate or funding support, please provide amounts you raised, but where do you put that?
No, that is crazy because it should read given. There is nowhere to put raised at all anymore. So is that what I understand? So I'm just putting in what was given, what we have given out. So I'm not even counting money raised anymore. So I believe this is a typo. Edit
Yeah,
amounts raised.
yeah.
Is that what you understand?
Yeah, but I
Emily,
don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
yeah.
What I've been doing, because I thought they're not asking me how much we raised.
Right.
No.
Place to put it. So what I do is I just put I put the amount, that we raised during the month in the amount given. And then in where was money given,
Okay.
I type in, this is money we raised in the month of whatever.
Okay.
So
Emily, if I
Yes.
may, we being district secretaries are trying to get some wording changes on the monthly report, and this is one of them because that is very, very confusing. And it is supposed to be given, so that amount raised up on top is not the correct wording. So those of you who are doing that given in there, that is correct. I don't know when that wording change is going to be made, but expect a few changes still coming in the months ahead.
Thank you.
for asking
Okay,
me
thank you
questions.
very much. So tell me again. So basically you're putting in this amount what you have raised, Jody, is that right? And then you've
Yes.
given it out where
And
you've
then
given.
where it's given, I just type in, this is money our club raised during the month of August,
Okay.
or whatever month it was.
Okay. Very good. Very good. That's great.
Might have to
Okay.
fix it all when they get the stuff right, but we'll see.
Yeah, very good.
Hey, this is Joanne. If it would be helpful too, if they say money, wait a minute, whatever that your time, okay, amount given to the club, if that's what they meant, or amount given to
That we've given.
amount, yeah, the club gave to other entities.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just be a little bit more specific.
Agree. Good idea. Good. Thanks for being our for helping with that, Lisa, with the other secretaries. So,
And also
okay.
there's nothing on how many kids were impacted. And
No.
we've always tracked that. I don't understand why
That has been removed, and believe me, that point has been brought up. And I don't know if we're ever going to get that restored or not, but that is something that's been brought up multiple times in the last 5 months.
You would think you'd want to track that
Well,
they would want to
especially
track
when
that.
you have to put how many kids benefit when you want to write a grant.
Right.
They want that information.
Right. Right.
The answer that we have heard several times is so many estimates were given, it's hard to know. If you've got a lot of kids, sometimes you do have to estimate, and that's one of the reasons they just weren't feeling that question. The answers they were getting to that question may or may not have been accurate.
Also,
good.
there's a question of if you ring bells for the Salvation Army for 12 hours, how many people do you impact?
That's
Come on.
that's
You know?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
all
don't
part
know.
of it. Exactly.
Right.
So,
Yep.
Right. So I want you to know that this annual report, once every other report is submitted, your October through September, it says here it will be included and become visible at that time. So you don't have to do anything additional. Well, here it says to submit your annual report. So maybe make sure you go through that from your 2024-25 and submit that. And what's crazy too is that it's only the annual questions are on there. So it just seems crazy that that's all that's on that annual report. But that's all they're asking at this time. Okay. All right. Any other questions on monthly reports? Thanks for clarifications.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Where you're reporting volunteer hours, if you've got one member that's volunteering at a church and another member that's volunteering at another church, do you just put church activities and then total hours that the two are doing?
Yep. Yep. it's people hours. So if there's two people doing 2 hours, it's 4 hours, 4 people hour. That's how
Okay,
you
but
count
that's,
that.
you can combine things like that. You don't have to list each individual member.
No, 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 no. Nope, not at
Okay.
all. Not at all. Good question. Not at
Yeah,
all.
I kind of had a question on that service
Okay,
hours as
Dave.
well.
Uh-huh.
Um, what's that used for, I guess? Because not every member shows up every week or even during the month sometimes, and they contribute a lot of volunteer time, but never gets recorded. And uh, what's that data point used for, I guess, with Kiwanis International or the district?
Good question. I think I would want to know how many service hours because it's something that we put on our brochures that we've done so many service hours. We've and we try to count numbers. So again, I'm not sure what they use it for. Um, and it's only going to be as good as you can track it. So it's not going to
Right.
be perfect.
Emily,
Lisa, do you know
I
anything
think
more?
you're on the right track, definitely. And it's good to know, okay, on average, how many service hours are being put in. It may not be an exact, it's kind of like the number of kids served. Sometimes we do estimates to do that. But the fact that we are a service organization, we need to know how many hours are going in. And again, that comes down to this group that we have right here. We have no way at the international or district level to track that without the club secretaries putting in those monthly reports and saying, yes, this is the number of service hours we did. And that's reportable. Jody mentioned a minute ago, if we want to track for grants or something like that, how many kids did we serve? Well, it's the same thing when it comes down to service. We're serving our community is one thing, but we can say, yes, we did 100 hours of service this past quarter. So it's a number that's used in multiple ways at both the district and the international level.
This is Ted Erickson. I have a question on that though. Based on the way that section is worded with the volunteer hours and stuff, it's like it's worded based on the projects you complete. You don't complete projects every month. So we're not reporting all of our volunteer hours because of the way that section is worded.
Yeah,
Okay. And that might be a wording thing. Give me an
sure.
example.
I'm
Sometimes the word project is overused or underused.
I have people that uh, are engineers on the zoo train at the children's
Sure.
zoo. We don't report that every month because that's a project that's ongoing all year.
Okay, but
We
you
we do.
certainly
We
could
should.
report. You could report it every
Yep.
month.
So
Yeah.
We do.
so I could add about 5 pages to report by doing that.
Yes, you could definitely report that as a project each month.
That's not the way this thing's worded.
Yeah, and
So
that's
we
probably a
we
wording issue.
that could be a one thing too that we read to kids at Head Start every month. And so, but it's not on my list because it's 4 people that do that and they do that regularly every month. And so I do add that as a project, as one project, but I just do it one project, it's one project, but then I add all of their hours over the month and
So I
how many
guess the
people did.
question from my standpoint is the word please provide details about the service projects your club completed this month. Use your best judgment to decide if your project fits this
Yeah.
category. What does international want?
I
That's the
think,
problem.
yeah. I think you can be it's yours. I think they're giving you the
Now
the
they
benefit of
need
the
to
doubt
define
there.
what they want because if you've got 15 different secretaries, you're going to get 15 different evaluations of what they are going to put in
And
until you define what you want.
that's to a certain point true. And as long as you are consistent within your club, what you report, that's the main thing for your club and what you're tracking.
Yeah,
And
but
that
some
goes,
people are underreporting and some are overreporting.
Right.
yeah, and that's
Agree,
why I'd
agree.
say to you for your trains, definitely go ahead and report that. I know your club is involved in that. You got members and reported that, and you can certainly call that a project each month.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would. I would. Thanks for
Okay.
those questions. Thanks, Ted.
Good question.
That makes it more work than it used to be. I guarantee it.
Okay. We just want you to be as honest or as I think what they want to see is that there is projects going on. I think they look at a club that has projects going on. They know they're a healthy, vibrant club. If you don't see any reports of any activity, I think that's when we can get worried.
Well, that's the only question I have is if they, rather than us trying to define what they want, have them define what they want. That's my
Okay.
question.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
that's some
we can
wording that we
sit
can
here
talk
and figure
about.
out we're gonna do this or that or that, whatever, but that may not fit with what International wants.
I don't know
So
if they've
just
got a
tell us.
definition, but
Just
yeah.
tell us. Since
Okay.
you wrote it this way, just tell us what you want. That's all.
Okay, that's good input. Thank you very much, Ted.
Okay.
Very good. I'm just going to remind you the finance tab. All the billings came out at the end of the month, so we've got our billings here for our memberships here. So just a reminder to go through that. Your treasurer can also look at that, but and again, I didn't get a reminder. I think we've had a concern about when we get a billing, will we get an email reminder? I did not, and I don't know that that's. I know we've talked. We've talked to them and said if that might be an option for us or for them to send out reminders when a billing comes out. But they've got a lot going on still with all this engaged. So at this point, just know to look that your finances are probably in there for your billings for the year. And at this point still, you can still print off one and print it and pay by mail, or you can pay online with the credit card. All right. I'm going to go back up to club bylaws. We've been talking about this every once in a while when it comes up. I just want to show you how easy this is. I mean, it's not easy, but there's an option to download this this template, and then you have, let me see, what can you see here? Yeah, you can see it. So this template is a fillable PDF. So you can go through this and update this because this was updated in February of 2025 here with all of the new things that there's a couple places that you can fill in spaces for that you would like to have, and there's some optional places, but mandatory club policies that need to be in there, you need to fill in some of these blanks in here. Of the officers and directors. So just note that how easy this can be to fill this in. I don't know if any of you have done that yet. Since that, has anyone had an experience doing this? I see a few of you have. Ginger. Okay, great.
Yeah, kind of a question on that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I did it. You know, we did it quite a few months ago. It would be
Okay.
nice if they would have a indicator on here that your bylaws have been submitted and that you're current.
Oh,
It doesn't say that
idea.
anywhere, and then it's like, okay, did it not go through correctly? Have they
Right.
not
So right
received it?
here, this is like the cover page. So as soon as you fill out that bylaw PDF, there's this cover page to put on there, and then you drag and drop that file. But you're right. So it doesn't let you know. And then it doesn't put it in. It used to on the other one, it put it in your file so you could actually take a look at them, but I don't see them. So Dave, you think you've done it, but you don't know because you have not received a response.
No, I'm pretty sure we've done it. It'd just be nice if it would say bylaws have been submitted on this date, and then you know you're current.
Right. Okay. All right. I will check to see who there is someone with bylaws that can help us with those questions. Thank you.
Emily,
Yes.
hi.
Hi,
We
Lisa.
updated our bylaws, and there isn't a place on here like to download your current bylaws. There's also, I noticed, I was looking just through our updated bylaws. If, you know how it has windows in here where you click in all the optional data
Yes.
that you want to put in. Not all that data appears on the hard copy.
Oh, you're
And
kidding
so
me.
I was looking for very specific information we had. I think it was on honorary members, and it's hidden data. you can't see it on your hard copy. So if you talk to
Okay.
whoever is at KI about bylaws,
Yes.
we need to be able to download a current copy of our bylaws, and we need to be able to see that hidden data that
Good.
does not appear if you expand, you go beyond what the window allows.
Perfect. I love that because I too, when I was going to update mine, I'm like, I can't find them. They used to be there
Yeah.
for us, our current ones. I had downloaded it, so I was able to find it myself. But that's good to have. That would be great to have right there. Thank you. Thank you for that
Thank you.
suggestion. And then submission, I'll add those questions with our bylaws with international. Very good. Okay, so while we're here, we're gonna kind of go over some of the I love all of these education links as well. So and important links. So under here, this is where you can find a lot of your youth protection guidelines. As you know, that's an annual thing to do. So all of these links here under important links will take you right to the Kiwanis website, to the Kiwanis.org website. So under this youth protection guideline, you can tell that you can see all of the places that you can do a presentation, the facilitator guide, Presidium courses, that's your SLPs. And I found out that anyone can go to the Presidium Academy and actually go through those wonderful learning opportunities. So this is a wonderful resource. So make sure you check that out when you're presenting my youth protection training. And I do it as a secretary, but my youth protection, I use actually some of the Presidium videos this time, just to kind of shake it up a little bit rather than some of the slides that Kiwanis gives us. Another thing on those important links was distinguished recognition. I kind of want to go over that a little bit tonight as well. So under distinguished, you can see that the 24-25 criteria was there, but I want you to know that International will have a form, it's not ready, to self-report. So we talked about this is distinguished club recognition. This was last year's, and they had all of these points. This was the first year it went into order, and we need to have self-reported. Well, they need to give us a form, and Bryce Kinder is working on that form, and we'll send it out as soon as it's available. Hopefully we'll get an email with that. Okay. Is there any questions on that? So if you know that you've met all of these distinguished criteria from 24-25 and you're itching to get all this reported, there will be a form and it'll get to us soon. So there's no more news about that. I apologize. Any questions on that in specific, Rebecca?
Emily,
Yes.
going back to youth protection, we used to have a box that you checked if you did youth protection.
Okay.
Is that gone?
It's there.
Oh, it is?
Poor Ted, because he's like, it's hidden. Service leadership programs. It's under there. Youth protection training under service leadership programs.
Thank you.
Okay. Very good. Thanks for asking that. Yeah. Okay, so and then the current awards. I love Lisa's page, Nebraska-Iowa district, on her home page. Look at this amazing thing. So this is her home page. She has last month's leadership chat here. Oops, we can't see it so good. Well, it goes back there. Anyway, and then on the side, this is where you can submit your annual membership plan. So create your club's membership plan is something that started last year just to kind of get you an idea of how to maybe nurture your club, examine where your club is today, where the club wants to go, how the club will meet those goals. And here's a great membership goal report form that Lisa has put on the district website for the new year. So this takes you to an international incognito form where they will ask you these questions for the 25-26 year. And this is the first question on your distinguished club report, distinguished criteria for the new year. And you just fill out this form, what district, what division, your name, Have you done the Create Your Membership Plan? How many new members are you looking to add, and how will you get there? And so you're doing just a little recap of that bigger form and then submit your plan. And they recommend doing it by December 31st. So we have a little bit more time to do that this year. Last year was October 31st. So any questions on those distinguished awards specifically? Or any reporting from last year or starting your new year? Okay, good. All right. So we'll get back to the slides now. All right. Lisa, I'm going to go ahead and have you go ahead and do this slide here. This is on the Kiwanis, the district Kiwanis website with achievement awards.
Sure. And actually you were there. We could have kept going from the
Oh, we
district
could have.
website, but
Well,
that's fine.
we still can. We still
Yeah,
can.
that's
Let
no
me go
problem.
there.
Either way, we can go live with that.
Let me go live
So
with it. Hold on. I gotta find it here. Blah, blah, blah.
So the
So she's
district's
got them on
achievement
this side.
awards are due December 1st, and that is for accomplishments, exemplary club, for outstanding secretary, and fellowship or the inner clubs from October of 24 through September of 25. And there we go. I think we got it there. So there's the achievement awards. There's the three categories that I just talked about. There's a little explanation on what each of it is. And yeah, go ahead and click onto that form, Emily, the exemplary club. These are all PDF forms. They're fillable forms, so you can go ahead and put your club information in or check the appropriate boxes. And what I really would like to stress this evening is it will be great if each one of you went up and checked to see, hey, is my club eligible? Because I have heard repeated times, well, I looked and the first one talked about membership. In my club, we either stayed the same or we had a membership loss. This exemplary club, there's multiple questions. There's 11 questions. You qualify on 8 of them, that still means that you were a successful club. You do not have to be a check mark in every single one to do this. So please take a look at this, especially this exemplary club and the outstanding secretary too. The third one, as far as inner clubs, some clubs don't inner club as much, so not all clubs are eligible for that one. But those first two, it would be marvelous if we handed our awards committee this year a whole pile of award applications, and as many clubs as possible could receive that this year. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's super simple. Lisa has made it super simple. You don't have to print anything off. It's just all fillable in there, and then you send it on. She's got a note where to send it, and it's
Email it to
simple
me,
enough.
and
Yep.
we'll get it onto the committee, definitely.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why don't we have awards for like the treasurer and
Well,
and other people who do things if we're going to have an award for the secretary?
we certainly could. I think the outstanding secretary has been an award for well before I
Oh, it's
started.
been forever.
It's been forever, but that's not saying that we can't look at other positions. There used to be a long time ago, there used to be more. I know there was a newsletter award, and I think there was something in addition to the fellowship. So I jotted that down. There's nothing saying that we can't look at other awards.
Okay.
It's easy. I think the secretary, there's something that's measurable. I think that's why it might be um easier to do. I don't know. It's measurable based on your monthly reports.
I don't know.
Look at it.
We have a great bulletin and we have a great
Awesome.
treasurer who keeps us on track. So
Yeah.
we all work together, and just pointing out the secretary seems to be a little bit much.
Very good.
Okay, yep.
Love
Okay.
that.
Yep. Couple other things I'd like to point out here, communication wise. This year, it is more important than ever. You always hear this spiel from me. It's not an annual ask. I pretty much ask every anytime I get the club secretaries together. It's please check your roster, your members for contact information. Is there something missing? Is there something that needs to be changed? This year, it is a little more important than ever due to the transition from Kiwanis Connect to Kiwanis Engage. I can list you at least 5 or 6 examples of little hiccups that we've run into because of something that did not slide over or transition from the old platform to the new Engage. The other one that we have noticed is in the Kiwanis Connect platform, you could have a member that had 3 different phone numbers listed. You could do a mobile phone, you could do a work phone, you could do a home phone. In Kiwanis Engage, there is just one place for a phone. What we've noticed has happened if the member had 2 or 3 phones listed before, and that primary, which phone number is primary, was not checked, none of them actually transferred over. So check your members to make sure that phone is in there. The other thing I've noticed, and I've noticed this with my own club, I'm club secretary for my club. We do not have a satellite club associated with our club. Yet when the transition came into Engage, I had 2 members that showed up as satellite members. That's not something I can change club secretary wise or even district secretary wise. That's something that's got to go to member services at KI and have them change. Is it major having a satellite member show up? No, probably not. But for accuracy purposes, run through your roster and just make sure those kind of things aren't showing up. The other ask I would have is talk with your other club officers. Are they receiving emails that come from me, the club officer buzzes, the monthly newsletters? If they're not, please have them contact me. I can send out another invite to have them get back onto constant contact, but I can do that only once. Constant contact says, hey, you can't bug people. If you ask them once and they don't respond, that's it. You can't ask again. So I will only initiate that if someone contacts me and says, yes, I'd like to resubscribe. Sometimes it's inadvertent. You hit it and you didn't mean to hit unsubscribe. The other thing I would ask all club secretaries or anybody that brings a new member in, make emails and where they're going to come from a part of your new member education. I have seen newer members unsubscribe, and the reason they click is because I never signed up for this. Well, what sometimes a new member may not realize is being in the Kiwanis Club may mean that you're going to be getting emails from international or from the district. And I will always try never to bombard an email or your inbox with emails. Once, twice a week is very, very rare. A couple times, 2, 3 times a month is probably the more rate for that. So please let new members and all members know that it's important to stay connected to that district email, and especially if you're an officer.
Lisa, do
Yes.
all officers get the emails from you or just the president and secretary?
When I send out a club officer buzz, that is going out to all officers.
Okay.
So that is president, president-elect, treasurer, secretary, assist, and also to the membership chair.
Okay.
The difference in that sometimes, and you will know if it's not, the one that I emailed out today with the reminder about tonight and the awards was specific for club secretaries. And that one was labeled secretaries as such, but the club officer buzz goes out to all officers if they haven't unsubscribed. Okay, district calendar. The calendar for this year is available online. We saw that on that side menu above where that membership was when we were up on the district website a minute ago, and it's also in one of the pull-down menus. The printed directory of all district leadership that has the calendar, that has all the lieutenant governors by division. That is at the printers right now. I don't know if it's going to be mailed out this week or next week, but that will be going to all the presidents and secretaries. There will also be a PDF version of that directory that I will have come out in the newsletter later this week. But I will not put that online on the website. I have had some requests before to put that online, and we do not do that anymore because of scammers. So don't want to get those tricky emails asking for money or Walmart gift cards or whatever scammers want to ask for. Couple things you see on the screen right now. The annual leadership retreat is coming up Saturday, March 14th. I'm pretty excited because that's about 2 miles from me here in Wahoo, out at the beautiful Lake Wanahoo Education Center. So that's coming up in March. The International Convention, if you want to do some traveling, this year is the perfect year to do that because we will be in Manila in June of 2026. There'll be more information coming out on that in the next couple of months. So watch the international website and emails for that. And then this year, we are going to rock the Mid-America Center in Council Bluffs, Iowa for District Convention. That's coming up the 7th and 8th of August. So all good things to keep in mind.
All right. Well, let's rock. That's how we'll end our formal slides. We had a few questions within, but please, I'm going to stop sharing. Let's chat. Let's chat about any other questions you might have that may not have been covered. I took notes of what we want to look at on Engage specifically and bylaws.
I will be sharing some of the notes that I took this evening as well. Later this week, I'm headed to Indianapolis for our annual conference. So I want to ask some questions, follow up on some of these things, and several things like the International Convention, some other topics, as Emily mentioned, with the distinguished member and club forums. Hopefully, we'll be getting updates on, and I can share more information on that next week as well.
Very good. No questions. Did you learn anything? Is there one thing that you learned? Maybe one. Fantastic. Ginger, are you talking? Oh, I didn't know if you were talking here. I can't hear you.
I guess I have a question, Emily. Can I
Yes.
ask a question? And anybody, please chime in. Are there any challenges, membership wise, engage wise, whatever, that have kind of started off the year for you? Is there something that the district is there something that you would like to see from your district, either your district leaders or as a whole, in helping you do your job as club secretary or getting your club energized and going for the new Kiwanis year?
I've got a question in terms of if we have a member who's gotten married since they filled out their application form, can we go in and change their information or do they have to go in and do it? Or can't it be changed?
It can be changed, but that is something that member services at International will need to do.
Okay.
You can change a address, um, contact information, but if it's a name change on a member, that is something you'll need to contact member services on.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed when I was signing up a couple of new members, I knew I wanted to have them on our membership list by October, so for when the invoices came out. And so like September 29th, I added those two new members. And then I got billed prorated for 2 days in September. And there's like a Kiwanis date that you join and a club
Yeah.
date that you join. And you only see, I think, the club date when you enter the information. And I think it just kind of defaults to that other date when the day that you're actually entering the information, that becomes the Kiwanis join date. And then
Correct.
they'll bill you for that.
Yeah.
That I've communicated that with Kiwanis International, so maybe they're already working on it, but that needs cleaned up a little
Yeah,
bit.
any member entered before September 30th will be counted as a new member for that year. So if you're wanting those new members not to be on your roster until the 25-26 year, then those members needed to be wait until after October 1 to be in. But September 30th is that cutoff or that date for when that new year starts. So any members entered before that will be on the previous year.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's communicated on the entry form anywhere, so. No.
Okay. Well, moving forward, you got that info now.
Yeah. I'm a new secretary, so and if we have a new secretary next year, which will probably still be me, but yeah, every time you get a new secretary, if that type of basic information would be on the intro and instructions on those pages, that would be helpful.
The way our club has handled that, we pay first year's dues whenever a new member joins. We pay that year's dues for them, and so 2 years in a row now we've had members join in September, and we hold them over until October because otherwise, if we paid their first time dues, we would pay part of September and then they would get a big bill in October. And
Yeah.
so we just hold them over, and October 1st, I put them on the roster and we pay their first year's dues, and it's not $12
Right.
for them, and then $147 October 1. So
For
that's how we handle it.
Yeah, for our club, I had that happen, and I contacted International and just said they didn't join on that date. They joined on this date, and they corrected it.
Good. Good to hear.
So you might go ahead and do that with your members.
And Neil has a message in the chat. Your current member invoice is addressed to the former secretary. KI has said it's been updated, but the former secretary is still receiving those dues or those invoices. I wonder if that secretary is listed somewhere still. I just wonder. Um, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell. Any recommendations, Lisa?
I'm not sure on that one, Neil, and I will look into that and I'll communicate back. Yeah, I don't know why if the new secretary is in there, why it would still be defaulting to the old one.
Okay. Thank you. Otherwise, your October went in the new year went well for all of you? Is it like one of your busiest times of the year though? For me it is. So hopefully it was smooth and it's going to be even smoother yet.
I had a question. I don't know if it has anything necessarily to do with what we're talking about, but I haven't had experience with it, but I wanted to find out from somebody. We've got to do background checks on about 4 different people, is that a pretty cumbersome process online? How much information do I have to get from the person
Oh,
to input into the system?
From the
Kent, do you have a second? How about you can do that all on Engage. It's the most, do you want me to,
Okay.
do you have time for that? Do you want me to have time,
Yeah.
or I can do that
Yeah. Or just
later.
get back to me.
I can get back to you. It is super simple through Engage.
Okay.
You click their name and send, and it sends them an email, and they've
You don't have to gather the information. The
no, you don't at all.
individual will be filling that out.
Yep.
Okay.
So they'll get an email once you click send, and I'll kind of show that to you, Kent. Kent, I'll have to get you. Lisa, maybe you can give me his contact information later. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, that'd be great.
Thank you.
I know where to
Super.
find you. Don't I, Kent?
Is
Yeah.
there a way to be, one of the issues I've had is a couple people that I need background checks on are actually school administrators, and they have current background checks all the time. And yet there's not a way that we've found to put that into the Kiwanis system, because they've had those done at a federal level, even through their job as a teacher or a superintendent of schools, and so it just seems silly that I know that stuff is updated annually on them, and yet we've still got to go through and try and figure out a way to duplicate everything. I mean, is there any way to get Kiwanis any place to check that I've already got all this stuff done?
The provider for the Kiwanis background checks is the same across international. So even though they already have a background check, with you're a member or an advisor, they still need to have that background check done through Safe Visitor. And that's the kicker on why it's important for them to have, even if it's a second one, to go ahead and have that second one done. Because Kiwanis International is saying this is our standard that we have. It is through Safe Visitor. So you can't take another, I don't even off the top of my head know a name of another provider who would do that and say, yes, this provider's done it. They need to just go
Well,
ahead
who
and
does the
have it
state
done
of
through Safe
Nebraska
Visitor.
require that they have to validate for all public school official? I mean, this is something that the state of Nebraska requires,
Yeah.
that they have to keep current. But that doesn't count. They still have to go through the
They
other.
still need to go through Safe Visitor, yes. And whether you're in Nebraska or Iowa or Alaska or Europe, all of that goes through Safe Visitor. And it's the same provider for all of them. And I don't remember how many years ago they switched to the Safe Visitor, but they went out and they had a set of criteria, and they had 4, 5, 6, 7 different background check companies that they went through to see, okay, this is our set of standards, and who's going to be the best provider for us, and this is a Safe Visitor that they went with.
Rita, that is true. For years, I was a teacher and worked with our Builders Club, but they would never, Kiwanis International never accepted my background check from Lincoln Public Schools. They had to do their own. So that is,
and I understand that. It just seems so silly and duplicative to me that we do it that way. And these are professional people that have already been vetted at a really high level, and we're telling them that doesn't count.
Things. Yeah, they look at different things. So
yeah, it's not that it doesn't count. It's just when we're not the only organization that has it. Again, it's just that it's a standard across all states, across all countries, and it just kind of sets that line out for what's going to be acceptable for each one.
It is very unfortunate. I wish there was some way that they could come up with a common clearinghouse or something. At one point in time, I had 4 of them, plus I was cleared by the United States military because of my son's clearance in the military. But yeah, it's very unfortunate that they can't figure something out, but that's the way it is.
We'll take care of it.
I've got a question
Thank
on
you.
that then. You're saying that the teacher that is coordinating the K kids has to have a background check?
Yes.
Yeah, before they'll show up. Well, I couldn't put a name in for our Key Club or the builder. I mean, any of them. It wouldn't enter a member's name until they had the background check mark, and it would just say that background check is pending, and it would not enter them as an advisor or anything in the system until that background check is done to Kiwanis satisfaction.
But it's a Kiwanis member. It's not the faculty member. It's the
Well,
Kiwanis
our
member.
faculty member is also our Kiwanis
Right,
member.
but for Ginger's question, it's if it's the Kiwanis advisor.
Oh, okay. I've got the Kiwanis advisor.
Right.
I was just asking about the school teacher
No.
that's serving as the club advisor. Okay.
No,
All right.
no.
Thank you.
Good questions. Thank you, guys.
That is new on the Engage portal, though, that the faculty advisor, it's asking for the background check.
Uh-huh.
It says it's missing. It wouldn't not let me put them in though. I could put them in.
Yeah.
But it
that
does
was
say it's
something
missing.
that wasn't on Connect. The faculty, it would list the faculty advisor, but it didn't require the background check. And it is now on Engage.
Oh, I always had to send an email to our Key Club advisor and our K Kids advisor to get their background check, even on Kiwanis Connect.
For the Kiwanis member, but was it the same for the faculty advisor? I don't remember ever having to have
Well, and our faculty advisors are also members of our club, but they had to have they had to do the background check to be a faculty advisor. And then our club advisor had to have a background check as well.
I just didn't remember that. Now, my faculty advisor for Key Club now is a member. Previously, they were not, but I just didn't recall that ever asking for the faculty advisor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time after an hour, but so you're free to go anytime. But if you have any questions, Lisa, Brian, I'll be on here if you have anything else. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All.